first time SAAudit is run on a computer that has not yet been granted access to the server, it checks the IP address and verifies the connection. If you're connecting from a public hotspot, then you'll get this screen every time. It'll be a temporary connection, and you'll be able to update that IP just by clicking the update button here. Most of the time you won't even see this screen. You'll just be running it from your office, and that'll be a IP address that's already stored in the server for access. So just give the server a minute to update your IP, and then the SAAudit program will begin. It'll log you into the database that you logged in previously. If we click on the database tab down here at the bottom of the screen, all the different sites you have available to audit will be listed here. Of course, here for the demonstration, we just have the one demonstration database. So to prepare your Pocket PC to audit, go ahead and click the Synchronize button at the bottom. So we have two options to synchronize. Most of the time you'll be performing a quick sync, which will just synchronize any unsaved audits in your Pocket PC to the web. If you're changing sites, you can go ahead and do a full sync that will pull any audits off your Pocket PC that haven't been saved, and also load any new sites on your Pocket PC to audit. So we'll go ahead and click the full sync button here, and it gives you a list of all the different sites available. Just click on the sites that you want to have in your Pocket PC available to audit. So our demonstration database is already checked. And before we synchronize the device, you want to make sure you plug it in. So when you plug in your Pocket PC, you're going to get a screen like this that asks you to set up your device or connect without setting it up. We always just close the screen down. It's not required. That's all of the different data processing, contact lists, email, that kind of thing that's in your Pocket PC. But for auditing purposes, we just close that screen down. So our Pocket PC is connected. We just click the Synchronize Now button. It's going to warn us that when we do this, we're going to lose any audit history in the device. We're not going to lose any audits, just the history itself, and that's fine. We'll say yes to that. And then the software is going to go ahead and pull from the server all the information for the sites that are selected. It's going to create a file for the Pocket PC, and it's going to go ahead and load the device with your sites. So now we haven't saved any audits, but we have loaded a new database onto the Pocket PC. So I can click Close here, and your Pocket PC will automatically launch the SAAudit program and bring you to the date and time confirmation screen. We want to be sure that the date and time are correct in the device so that the audits that follow will be the appropriate date and time. So we'll just verify that, click on Confirm. Now we're at the Welcome screen. To begin auditing, we can just click the Begin option at the bottom of the screen, but there will be multiple sites loaded most likely for each auditor. So we'll select the database that we want, and we'll click the Auditors button. And now we want to select an auditor. Again, we only have the one demonstration auditor, but there will be multiple here to choose from, so we'll select our auditor and click the Rooms button. So now we have every room in the facility available to audit. And there are quite a few rooms in the database that we can go ahead and audit. So if we want to make this list a bit more user-friendly to the auditor, maybe narrow in specifically on the area that they're in, we can click the Options button at the bottom, and we can select Refine this list. This will bring up a screen that will allow us to narrow that list down by risk category, or high-level functional area, location, or room use, or any combination of these. So if I only wanted to see the very high-risk rooms, I would put a check mark and click Apply. So if I want to select a room to audit, I can go ahead and select any room in this list and click the Audit button. The Pocket PC then brings up a list of prompts or items to inspect in this room. And to audit an item, I would just tap and hold my stylus on any of the prompts on the screen, and I would either pass the item, fail the item, I can not score the item, I can add any comments I would like. An overall comment would be adding an audit comment for the overall audit, or non-scoring comments would be things like maintenance or safety issues. So in this prompt, I'll go ahead and just pass this prompt. bypass the walls, and we'll go ahead and fail the ceilings. So now that we've failed the item, we have a list that comes up where we can enter why the item actually failed. And we can have multiple things selected. So for the ceilings, we can select cobwebs and dust and say done. So now I see that we have the first two items passing and the ceilings failing. If there are no vents in the area, I can go ahead and say do not score this item. And now I see that the vents were skipped. These indicators on the screen just help the auditor as they're walking through the area to know what has been audited, what has been skipped, and what remains. Another useful function on these menus, if I click and hold on an item and I select how do I audit this prompt, this is a simple help on how to look at the item, how to rate it, what to look for, and this is all user definable. Westech has preloaded all this help for you. If at any time during the audit we need to leave the area and come back and audit it later, at the bottom here it shows us which room we're currently auditing. So we just click on the bar at the bottom and we'll see that we're in this room number, room name, it's a high risk room, and here are the different sort fields here. So we always know exactly where we are and what we've audited. So we can come back to continue the audit. So each item in the list, we're passing or failing, which will directly impact the score of the audit itself. If we find an item that's damaged or needs some sort of maintenance applied to it, we can click and hold that item, in this case cubicle curtains. We'll go to comments and non-scoring comments. So in this case it will bring up a list of things that maintenance may have to do to the item. Here we'll say that repair, replace, because the cubicle curtain is damaged. So there is no score on this item yet. We haven't passed or failed it, but we have attached a maintenance comment to it. We can later run a separate maintenance report that we give to the maintenance department. They can come to this room and repair this item. It has no impact on the housekeeping score itself because it's not the housekeeper's responsibility. When we're finished auditing the room, we click on Save. And the system will ask if we're finished auditing the room. We say yes. And now we see there's an indicator on the room that it has been audited. So we can scroll through our list and select the next room to audit. In this case, a washroom. And repeat the process. Ideally, we want to go through and have all of these items listed as a pass, a fail, or a skip, so that we're sure we've looked for and covered each item in the scheme. So now we have two rooms that are audited in the system. If you want to take a look at the audit itself, we can select any room that has an audit against it and hit audit again. And now we see that this room was audited on this date, at this time, and it has not yet been synchronized with the PC. So we have two choices here. We can either edit the audit, which will bring up the audit, show us what was passed, what was failed, any comments assigned, or we can delete the audit if we wanted to audit the room again or we audited under the wrong room number. Or we can create a new audit here, which will give us two audits for the same room. But editing the audit and deleting the audit are the two options that we would use here for Clean Audit Canada. I'll cancel the screen. And here in the room list, we'll go ahead and explore the different options we have available to us. So if we click on options, we've already gone through the refine the list, so we can narrow down the rooms that are visible. We can edit rooms. If we come across a room that has the wrong name, sort field, even risk category, we can go ahead and change that. If I click on add, edit, deactivate, it will bring up the edit room data for the current room that's selected. So here we have our room number, area type, room name, and the 4 sort fields. We can change anything we like here. If we wanted to change it from a risk 1 to a risk 2, we would just make that selection. When we're finished making any change here, we would click save. It would save the room and make it available to audit. So I'm just going to click back here. I'm not going to save those changes. Okay. The other options we have now, we have a search for a room, which will allow us to search for a room by typing in the first couple characters of the room number when we have a large list to select from. So we can bring up our on-screen keyboard and type in the beginning of the room number. So CDH33. Now when we hide our keyboard, we're at the first CDH33 room here in our list. Just helps us navigate the list and find the room we're looking for easier. Other options we have, we can change auditors. If we hand the Pocket PC off to a different auditor, we can change sites, so we can change the site that we're currently auditing. We can go home, back to the first screen, or we can go to an audit summary. Audit summary just shows how many audits have been performed in the device. In this case, we've done 2 high-risk audits. Or if you have certain targets or percentages, if you wanted to audit 50% high risk and 50% medium, we can come down to options and say show percent. So here we'll have 100% of our risk 1 rooms. So we just click back. And finally we have in options, we have our UV marker audit. It's not set up in this demonstration. We will go through it in detail in a later demonstration. And that's all there is to auditing. To recap, we select the room that we'd like to audit. We click Audit. We tap and hold each individual item in this room, and we score it. If we come across an item that fails, the Pocket PC will prompt us why it failed. We select as many reasons why as we like, and we say Done. When all of the items have been audited, we click Save. And yes, we're finished with the audit. That's all there is to it. The only thing we have to do now is synchronize this Pocket PC with a computer so it saves these audits directly to the website. So back to the SAAudit program on the PC. We go to the Synchronize tab and we do a quick sync. This will take the 3 audits we performed on the Pocket PC and post them to the website. After the audits are saved, it will look for any room changes made, apply those as well. It'll mark the audits as being synchronized on the Pocket PC and give you a status window that indeed we've saved the 3 new audits. So we can click Close. And now if we go to the Audits tab, we'll see the 3 audits that we've just performed. On any audit, you can double click and it will show the detail behind that audit, what was scored, the score given, and any reasons why if it failed. If an overall comment was given, it would appear at the bottom. And if any item was not audited, it would show up if we check the box at the bottom that says Show All Prompts in Scheme. When we check that, it shows all of the items that are available to audit in this room type or risk category and which ones were indeed audited. From here, we can run any report we want. If we run an audit summary report by room number, it'll come up and show us the 3 rooms that we've just audited with an overall score and a total number of audits. That's the SAAudit system for Clean Audit Canada and Westech. If you require any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact either Dean Weisman at the number listed here or the QH Technologies technical support listed at the end of this demonstration.